Hello everyone. In the last lecture we discussed effects of negative feedback. One can use the negative feedback to reduce distortion, noise. Not only this, but also one can increase the bandwidth, increase the gain stability, and one can modify input and output impedance of an amplifier. So we discussed these advantages detailed in the last lecture. And today we will discuss about classification of amplifiers and classification of feedback amplifiers. And before starting feedback amplifier classification, let us take a look about the general classification of amplifiers. So these are the four types of amplifiers: voltage amplifier, current amplifier, transconductance, and transresistance amplifier. So what is this voltage amplifier and current amplifier, transconductance and transresistance? So this classification have been done by using the input and output signal, which means voltage amplifier means your input side is also voltage and output side is also voltage, which means in other words we can say that your output voltage depends on the input voltage, or output voltage varies with respect to the input voltage variation. And similarly, current amplifier means your output current must be varying with respect to the input current variation. And transconductance, so usually conductance means we represent in terms of G. So G is nothing but just a reciprocal of your resistance. So one can write 1 by R is equal to I by V, because V by I is equal to R. So 1 by R is equal to I by V. It represents the transconductance. It shows that your output current varies with respect to the input voltage. Clear? And transresistance is represented by Rm is equal to, so it is normal resistance R is equal to V by I. It shows that your output voltage must be varying with respect to the input current variation. So that is what is called transresistance amplifier. And likewise one can say current amplifier means, say for example AI is equal to output current divided by input current, and voltage AV is equal to output voltage by input voltage. Right? With respect to input voltage, your output voltage is varying. With respect to input current, your output current is varying. With respect to input voltage, your output current varies. And with respect to input current, your output voltage varies. And let us take a little detail about each one. So first we will discuss about voltage amplifier. So how your output voltage varies with respect to input voltage. And usually your Thevenin's equivalent circuit used to reduce the large circuit into single voltage source and single resistance. So your input side, if I have many resistance or many voltage sources, I can combine all the resistance and all the voltage sources into a single voltage source and single resistance by using Thevenin's equivalent model. So according to that, let us take a general Thevenin equivalent model. So let us take some voltage Vs and with some resistance Rs. Thevenin equivalent model, we have one voltage source series with one resistance. And for transistor equivalent model, we will assume some resistance Ri. And for transistor equivalent model, it is AV, Vi. Since it is voltage amplifier, AV is nothing but your gain of your voltage. So voltage gain AV. And series with some output resistance R0 and load resistance R. Across this we take output V0. That's it. Right? So now if your Ri value is much greater than Rs, then what will happen? The voltage drop is almost equal to across Ri. So if I represent this is equal to Vi, then if it is very small, then in the circuit the voltage drop across this Ri is nothing but Vi is almost equal to the source voltage Vs. So your Vi is equal to Vs now. And let us come over here, output side circuit. If Rn is much greater than R0, again, then what will happen? Your V0 drop is almost equal to the AVBA. So V0 is equal to AVBI, and Vi is now is equal to Vs. So it is equal to AVBs. Right? You can see here the output voltage is where depends on the input voltage source Vs, which means output voltage is varying with respect to the input voltage source, or your V0 is depends on or proportional to your Vs. So this type of circuit is what is called the voltage amplifier circuit. Your output voltage now depends on the input source voltage or input voltage is what is called the voltage amplifier, right? And what about current amplifier? So for current amplifier, we can use the Norton's equivalent model. So according to the Norton's equivalent model, we can combine the same, all the circuits we can combine into single current source parallel with single resistance. So according to that, we'll take a current circuit. Let us assume current source Is and parallel with resistance Rs, and for transistor equivalent model you write Ri, and since it is current dependent, so Ai, Ii parallel with some output resistance R0 and lower resistance R, and assume this is IL. It is a current source. Now, if your Rs value is greater than Ri, then what will happen? The flow of current is small through this resistance. So, the maximum current flow through this Ri only. Isn't it? If Rs value is very high, then current flow through this Rs is very small. So, almost all the currents will be flowing through this Ri resistance. So, Ii is now is equal to Is at the input side. Let us come to the output side. Similarly, if R0 is much greater than your load resistance RL, then almost all the current will be flowing through the load resistance R. So your IL now is equal to AI, II, and this IA is equal to IS. So AI, IS equal to I, and here your IL depends on IS or proportional to your IS value. So this type of circuit is what is called the current amplifier. Your output current IL depends on the input current IS. Clear? So actually, why I am saying this general classification, we are going to compare our feedback amplifier classification with the general amplifier classification, because we do classify all the feedback amplifiers in terms of output signal and the input signal, right? If suppose I draw feedback signal as a voltage, and I can draw feedback signal as a current, and similarly I can connect that with series or in parallel to the input side circuit. So depends upon the feedback signal and the connection, input side, output side, we do classify the feedback amplifiers. So if we have a knowledge in the general amplifier classification, then we can come to know about the feedback amplifiers very easily, right? And the next one is trans conductance amplifier. So trans conductance means GM, it is equal to I by V, isn't it? Which means your output side is current and input side is voltage. It shows that your output current varies with respect to the input voltage. Let us take a look. Let us take the same Vs. And this is Rs, Ri, and this is your Vs. And same, your Vi is now is equal to Vs, and this side you have to change this source since it is Gm and output side is current, so you should have a current source, but the term for a trans conductance is Gm into what? Vi, or simply Gm Vi. This is because your Gm is equal to 1 by R and Gm into Vi is equal to 1 by R into Vi. Instead of G, we can write 1 by R into Vi. It shows that it is V by I format, which means it represents a current, right? So if I mention Gm into Vi, it represents a current source for trans conductance amplifier. Clear? So now what will happen? Your IL is equal to Gm Vi and Gm into Vi now is equal to Vs. So IL is depends on the input voltage. Simple. So this type of circuit is what is called the trans conductance amplifier circuits, since your output current which depends on the input voltage. Clear? And what about the trans resistance amplifier? So trans resistance amplifier, we have to change this notation into Rm, and R is nothing but V by I. Output side is voltage circuit or Thevenin's equivalent model, and input side circuit is Norton equivalent model or current circuit for trans resistance. So we have to change this circuit so that I can have Is, Rs, and this is Ri. Assume this is Ia. And output side is voltage circuit, so that I can have R0 over here. Since it is voltage, this is Rm, and along with we have to include the term is simply II, isn't it? Because I into R, it represents voltage source. So along with this Rm, if I include II, it represents a voltage source, and according to the condition, the total voltage across this load now equal to V0 is equal to Rm II, and here your Is is now is equal to II according to the condition Rs much greater than Ri and RL much greater than R0. If I make such an assumption, I can get or I can make the circuit as a trans resistance amplifier. So it is equal to Rm Is, and your output voltage is depends on the source voltage, I, S. Clear? So these are the 4 types we have under the amplifiers. Especially depends on the input signal and the output signal. We can classify the amplifiers into 4 types. One is voltage amplifier, current amplifier, transconductance and trans resistance. Voltage amplifier means output voltage depends on input voltage. Now current amplifier means output current depends on input current. Transconductance means output current depends on input voltage, and trans resistance means output voltage depends on input current, right? And little later we will compare the feedback amplifier circuit or feedback amplifier concept with the general amplifier classifications, so that you can get a clear idea about the feedback amplifier classifications, right? So now let us move into the feedback amplifier classifications. So 3 types of feedback amplifiers. So before doing the classification, let me show how to classify the feedback signals or feedback amplifiers. So we know that this is amplifier circuit. Let us assume this block represents amplifier with gain some AV, and I have input side and output side. And in the first lecture I told you that we have sampler circuit over here to sample the output signal, and we fed back to the input side through feedback network beta, right? And how to sample the signals. So it is a general block diagram, and now we are talking only in terms of blocks. We will go to the practical circuits in the upcoming lectures, right? So now just watch carefully. If I put one resistance parallel to this network, then what will happen? The output voltage drops over here. Our output drop is also equal to the drop across this resistance if I connect resistance parallel to the input side, because voltage drops in the parallel circuits are equal, right? So if I take a parallel connection from the output side as this, then it brings you the voltage drop. Clear? If I connect the parallel resistance, it drops the actual voltage across the resistance, which means if I take a parallel connection as this, it draws a voltage, right? So this parallel connection draws voltage through the beta, and that we have to connect to the input side. And as I told that your feedback signal reduces the input side voltage or current or input side signal. If I connect the drop across, at the input side series with the source voltage or series with the source, then what will happen? It makes some effect on the voltage, because if I have a two voltages, say for example V1 and V2, then the net voltage only will be coming over here, isn't it? Which means if I have one voltage over here and if I connect some other battery with opposite direction as this, what will happen? This series voltage which reduces the input voltage, because this is plus minus and plus 2 plus minus 2 minus we have connected over here, right? Which means, for example, this is plus 3 volt let us assume, and this is 2 volt, it is also plus. If I connect both in series, which gives you 5 volt, right? Which means I have connected this minus to this plus and this minus to this plus. So the total voltage now added so that I get 5 volt. If suppose I connect 3 as like this, so this is 3 volt, so this is plus 3 volt, and this shows that minus 2 volt. So what will happen if I connect two batteries in series? Then it gives you reduction is equal to 1 volt. Clear? So simply, if I want to make some changes on the voltage, then I have to connect the feedback signal series with the input source. Clear? And one more thing, we already studied that in a series network your current is same but voltage drops are different. So if I want to make some changes on the input voltage, then I have to feed the signal series with the input source. The reason is because of reason you can get from this side. So if I connect that series with the input side, then what will happen? This makes some effect on the voltage. Clear? So if I take parallel connection at the output side, it draws or it brings the voltage as a feedback, and if I connect that in series with the input signal source, then this makes some effect on the original source, right? So this amplifier is what is called the voltage series amplifier, because this connection is series connection, and we do draw voltage by using a parallel circuit. So this is what is called the voltage series feedback amplifier. And whenever I write voltage series, it represents the first word voltage is output side, and the second word series represents the input side connection. So now we have drawn voltage as a feedback signal, and I connected that with series with the source in series. So this is called voltage series feedback amplifier. Clear? So this is one of the classification of feedback amplifiers. Clear? So to make some changes on the voltage, I have to feed the signal in series so that I can have changes on the voltage. And next type, then how will you draw voltage from the output circuit? And if I connect that in shunt, which means parallel, that is called voltage shunt feedback amplifier. So again the same parallel connection at the output side which draw voltage, and if I connect that in parallel again, this is parallel. Then what will happen? If I have a source over here, and if I connect another resistance in parallel, then what will happen? Your input side current now is dividing, because in parallel circuit, assume this is Is, and total entering current is equal to leaving current I1, I2, which means your current is dividing here, two locations. If I include another resistance parallel to this network, then what will happen? Again your current is dividing, right? So if I connect feedback signal in parallel, it reduces or it makes some changes on the current, right? If I connect in parallel as this. So depends upon the current direction, your total current is adding or your current is subtracting. So actually it shows that Is minus I1 minus I2 is equal to 0. But now if I include one more resistance over here, so now your Is minus I1 minus I2 minus I3 is equal to 0. It shows that because of this new resistance that I connected in parallel with the input side, that reduces again your source current Is is equal to Is minus I1 minus I2 minus I3. So if I connect that in parallel, it makes some changes on the current. Clear? So output side is parallel and input side is also parallel, is what is called the voltage shunt feedback amplifier. Clear? And the same you can say in another word, parallel feedback amplifier, because input side parallel, output side also parallel. Whenever you do say in terms of this connection, you have to represent the first connection over here and second connection over here. But if you want to mention in terms of voltage and voltage series, you have to write the output is first and the input connection is second, right? So this is input side and this is output side. So one can write voltage series this in terms of parallel series feedback amplifier. I hope this was clear, right? And third type, what is the possible type? We have drawn voltage and connected series and shunt. Next we can draw current and I can connect that in series and parallel, simple. So current series feedback amplifiers. How to draw a current? I'm not going to make any drop by using the resistance. Directly, if I take this connection over here, then the current output current is flowing through this network, simply. I'm not going to make any resistance to drop the voltage and all. So simply I make a connection like this, which means the current is directly flowing through the feedback network beta, which means this is actually series connection, right? You can draw like this or you can draw your series connection like this. Both are same, right? So instead of drawing like this, I have just extended the line, that's all, as this. Clear? So output side series mean it draws your current, and you can take that and you can connect either in series or in parallel. If I connect in series, that going to make some changes on the voltage, that is called current series feedback amplifier or series feedback amplifier or series feedback amplifier. And another type, current shunt. Current shunt means if I connect output side as series and I connect that in parallel to the input side, if I connect that in parallel, it makes some changes on the input side current. So this is what is called the current shunt feedback amplifier, or you can say parallel feedback amplifiers. That's all. Simple. Right? So simply, if I connect in parallel at the output side, it brings you the voltage, and you can connect that either in series or in parallel to the input side. If I connect in series, that makes some changes on the voltage. If I connect the same with parallel, then that makes some effects on current. Similarly, if I take a series connection at the output side and I connect that with series, then that makes current drop. I mean, current is your feedback signal, and input side is that makes some changes on the voltage. And similarly, if I draw series connection, or if I series connection means it draws the current, and I connect that in parallel, that makes some effects on the input side current. So by using the feedback signal and the changes at the input side, we can classify the feedback amplifiers into 4 types, right? So simply, output circuit parallel means it is voltage, and output side is series, it brings you current. And input circuit or input side circuit, if you connect that in series, that makes some effects on voltage, and if you connect that in shunt, that makes some effects on current, because of the parallel network and series network theorems. Clear? And now we can compare these feedback amplifiers types with classification of amplifiers types, where we had classified general amplifiers into 4 categories, depends upon the input side signal and the output side signal, right? For example, voltage amplifier means output side voltage, input side also voltage. And here you can see this one, voltage series. Output side is voltage and input side is series. It means it makes some effects on voltage. So output side also voltage, input side also voltage. So we can compare voltage series feedback amplifier is equivalent to normal voltage amplifier, but the only difference is we have to include the feedback signal in the voltage series feedback amplifier, especially the same circuit in the voltage amplifier circuits. Right. So I told you, because of the negative feedback, we have a lot of advantages. One of the advantages is you can modify the input and output impedance as our desire, right? So how your input and output impedance are changing in the feedback amplifiers. Now let us take a general circuit with Thevenin and Norton equivalent model, and we will see how your input and output impedance are changing. So to analyze voltage series feedback amplifier, we no need to go with any extra circuits. We can directly take the voltage amplifier circuits because both are equal. The only difference is we have to include the feedback voltage series with the inputs in the voltage feedback amplifier. So voltage series feedback amplifier. So I said it is equal to your voltage amplifier. So you can take the circuit Vs and Rs, and usually this is, we assume, very small. If you want, you can keep RL, you can neglect this, no problem. Ri This is your input side circuit. Output side AV VI. R naught VA. So this is nothing but normal voltage amplifier, and in voltage series feedback amplifier we draw a voltage because of parallel connection. We draw voltage as a feedback signal and we connect that in series with the input side circuit. That is what your second term says that. So you have to include that as a voltage source VF feedback voltage, but the notation plus minus as this. You have to connect these two face each other, and similarly the plus terminal also should face each other, so that we can have a reduction in the input side voltage, because that is what your negative feedback says, that when I have a negative feedback the input side signal must be reduced. So if I connect polarity like this, plus to plus, minus to minus, then automatically your Vs now subtracts this voltage, as I just shown in the battery symbol. No, 3 volt, 2 volt, it is positive, minus, this brings you 1 volt. So minus to minus if I connect, then it reduces the input voltage as this battery. Clear? Right. Now from this circuit we can calculate the input and output impedance, so that we can see how your input and output impedance varies by using the negative feedback. Right? So let us apply a KVL at the input side. Input side, if I apply KVL, then we know these two voltages subtracts each other. So Vs minus Vf is equal to, now Vs minus Vf is equal to this drop, Vi. You neglect this one, no problem. Clear? But initially in normal voltage amplifier we don't have this one, so your Vs is equal to Vi in voltage amplifier. But voltage series feedback amplifier we included the negative feedback voltage over here, so this which reduces the input voltage, and these two now equal to this voltage drop. Clear? And now Vs minus, what is Vf? So Vf is nothing but feedback voltage. It is beta feedback network and the output voltage V0. So this is your output voltage we have taken as a feedback, and we applied through the beta. So beta into V0, which brings you the Vf voltage to the input side. So now Vf is equal to beta into V0. You can write this, beta into V0 is equal to Vi over here. Clear? And what is V0 from the output side circuit? We can find V0 is equal to AV Vi. We just found this in the voltage amplifier itself. You can substitute this over here. So Vs minus beta into AV Va is equal to Vi. And you bring this term to this side, you will get Vs equal to Vi plus beta AV Vi, and Vi common, 1 plus beta AV Vs, and you can write instead of Vi, V is equal to I into R. So Ia into Ri into 1 plus beta AV is equal to Vs, and Vs by Ii is equal to Ri into 1 plus beta AV. So V by I ratio is nothing but Ri, and this we have found for feedback amplifier. So write RIF. So RIF is equal to this one. RIF is equal to Ri into 1 plus beta AV is input resistance of voltage series feedback amplifier. And you can see over here, this is your actual resistance Ra, and that term is now multiplied with this another term 1 plus beta AV, right? Which means the input resistance, actual input resistance multiplied by this factor. So this which increases your input side resistance of voltage series feedback amplifier, because this Ra is multiplied by 1 plus beta AV term, so that makes your input resistance with the feedback RIF is higher, which means your input side resistance RIF increased by 1 plus AV beta factor. Clear? So in voltage series feedback amplifier, your input side resistance can be modified by changing the beta value. So that's why I told you that you can modify the input side resistance, output side resistance by using the negative feedback amplifiers. We have a proof as this. Clear? And we'll find output side resistance also. How your output side resistance also varying with respect to negative feedback. Okay. So this is input side resistance RIF is equal to Ra into 1 plus beta AV. And let us find out the output side resistance. So usually we do calculate output side resistance before load resistance, right? So before this load only we have a circuit impedance. If I include the load, then it takes the load resistance also. But usually we do calculate output impedance for the circuit, not for load. So we have to remove this RL, right? So that is your first step. Remove RL. To calculate output impedance. Remove RL. And second, make source 0. If it is voltage source, make it short circuit, and if it is current source, make it open circuit. And connect one external battery at the output side. Right? To calculate the output impedance, remove RL, and at that location you just include the external battery, some V0, and make voltage source or input side source is 0. If it is voltage source, make it as a short circuit, and if it is current source, you make it as a open circuit. So you can modify this circuit now. So we remove RL and we connect one V0 like this. And input side source is voltage, so you short circuit this. Short circuited. And we have to find out the output resistance or output impedance. So what will come? If I make Vs 0, then Vs minus Vf is equal to Vi. Here your Vs is 0, so Vi is equal to minus Vf. Clear? Right. Now next we will come to the output side section. Let us assume one current I flowing through this network, and we have two voltage source. So the net voltage V naught, and both the batteries are facing each other, same battery terminal. So V naught minus AVBI, which brings the drop across this R naught. It is nothing but your flow of current I into R naught. Because in series circuit we have only one current, that is assumed as a I, and V naught minus AV, instead of VI you substitute minus VF. Equal to I into R naught, and this minus gets cancelled. You get V naught plus AV VF is equal to I into R naught, and substitute VF value, V naught plus AV into beta V naught is equal to I into R naught, and take V naught common, 1 plus AV beta is equal to I into R naught, coming here, and you rearrange the equation. You bring I to left side and this term to the right hand side, so you get V naught by I is equal to R naught by 1 plus beta AV. So this is output voltage by current. So you can write this R naught F equal to R naught by 1 plus beta AV. Simple. So your output side resistance R naught F is equal to R naught divided by 1 plus beta AV. So now this beta AV in the denominator. So surely it reduces the actual resistance R naught, so that it brings you small output impedance when compared to the actual voltage amplifier circuit, which means the same factor 1 plus beta AV reduces your output side resistance in voltage series feedback amplifier. Clear? So R naught F is equal to R naught divided by 1 plus AV beta. So output resistance R naught decrease now. By a factor 1 plus AV beta. That's all. So this is what is called the voltage series feedback amplifier input side resistance and output side resistance. So one can modify input side resistance and output side resistance by changing the beta value, because beta value we can fix. So this is also one of the advantages of your feedback, especially negative feedback. And still we have three types: voltage shunt, current series feedback amplifiers. And in the similar way, if we do calculate, then we'll get input side impedance and output side impedance. Maybe for some configuration your input side impedance may increase and output side impedance may also increase, and for some configuration both output side input side impedance may decrease, and output side impedance may increase, input side impedance may decrease. So likewise we can modify the impedances by using the negative feedback signal, right? So if you want, we can do one more analysis. This voltage shunt. Voltage shunt means output side is again voltage, the same circuit, but input side we have to connect in shunt. Shunt means it makes some effects on the current. So I have to take a current circuit this side, and you can compare that voltage shunt feedback amplifier with the classification of amplifier that is equal to current amplifier. I'm sorry, it is not current amplifier. Your input side is current, output side is voltage, which means it is a trans resistance amplifier. Let us take note. So next, voltage shunt feedback amplifier. output side is voltage, input side is shunt. So output side voltage circuit, and input side current circuit. Because this shunt which makes some effects on the current since it is in parallel. And assume RS, RI. Okay. And this equal to your trans resistance RM, II equivalent mod. Right? And where to insert the feedback signal now? So if I connect shunt at the input side, then it makes some effects on the current. So I have to connect one current source at the input side. But actually in practice, in real circuit, we are not going to include a voltage source or current source. We are going to use some resistance or inductance or capacitance as a feedback terminal, right? So that resistance which makes some effects on the input current, and similarly the same resistance make some effects on the voltage. So your feedback now we just assumed as a block diagram termed as beta, but in real time circuits it is passive components like resistance, inductance or capacitance, something like this we are going to use. And though it is resistance, I have to connect that in parallel so that I can make a current division in all the branches. But now let us assume it has a current source, that is IF. And which direction I need to connect? The direction of feedback is downwards, because this is entering current. I have one leaving, another leaving, another leaving, three leaving current. So it should face this direction. This is what is called the IF. Clear? And as usual assumption, let us assume this RS is very high. So total current II is flowing over here. But now we have another drop IF. So IS now is equal to, we just neglect this, IF plus II. Clear? But in actual trans resistance amplifier, we have IS equal to II. We assume like that. But because of the negative feedback, we have included this IF also. What is IF here? Again, the feedback is voltage, but we connected that in parallel so that it makes effects on the current. So beta into again V naught. And the important thing, if I draw output feedback signal as a current, then this I naught must be replaced by I naught. I mean this V naught replaced by I naught if I make feedback signal is current. Which means for current series and current shunt, I have to change this V naught into I naught. Clear? But now it is a voltage shunt. So output is voltage. So IF equal to beta into V naught. So IS equal to beta V naught plus II. And let us come to the output side circuit. It is V naught equal to RM II. Substitute here. So IS equal to beta RM II plus II. Take IA common, you will get 1 plus beta RM, and one can write IA in terms of VI by RA into 1 plus beta RM, and you rearrange the equation. So bring IS here and RI and this term over here. So you will get RI by 1 plus beta RM is equal to VI by IS. from this. And this V by I, which gives you input side resistance RIF. And this RIF now is equal to Ri divided by 1 plus beta Rm. So this 1 plus beta Rm term reduces your input side resistance RIF in the voltage shunt feedback amplifier. But whereas in the voltage series, the same term is multiplied with the Ra term. But here in voltage shunt, 1 plus beta Rm is divided here. Right? So automatically what will happen? Your input side resistance decreased. Clear? This is your RIF. And what about R naught F? Again the same. Remove RL, and instead of RL, you just add V naught for output cycle. I'm saying include this, and source must be 0. If it is current source, you just make it as a open circuit, because in short circuit your current is maximum, so we cannot make short circuit for current source. We have to open the circuit. Similarly for voltage source, if I make a open circuit, open terminal drops are maximum, so I cannot make it as a open. So I have to make it as a short circuit if it is a voltage source, and I have to make open circuit if it is a current source. Clear? So I opened this, and if I opened that, then what will happen here? I is equal to 0, so IA is equal to IF now. Clear? So for output impedance, I will erase this. I hope you copied this, right? Since it is video, so you can pause and copy the derivation, right? So I erase this. So IA is equal to IF minus IF. And again the same, assume current I, then what will happen output side? V naught minus Rm II equal to I into R naught. Again the same, substitute instead of II minus IF, so that it becomes plus Rm into IF, and for IF you can substitute beta V naught, so V naught minus and plus beta V naught into Rm equal to I into R naught. V naught is common, so 1 plus beta Rm is equal to I into R naught, and rearrange the equation so that I'll get V naught by I equal to R naught by 1 plus beta Rm. This is output voltage by current, so it is equal to R naught F, output impedance or output resistance of voltage shunt feedback amplifier. Clear? And in voltage shunt feedback amplifier, your input side impedance, output side impedance, both are decreased by the same factor 1 plus beta Rm. Clear? But whereas in the voltage series feedback amplifier, your input side is increased and output side impedance is decreased. But here that changed. Both input output impedances are reduced because of the factor 1 plus beta Rm. I think time is up. So still we have two more types, current series and current shunt. We'll discuss current series and current shunt feedback amplifier in the next lecture, and we'll see how the input and output impedances